Welcome back to Roots to Wellness podcast. I am your host, Raya Karen. I am so grateful to have you here in my space. I am a mother, a daughter, a sister, a wife, a nature lover, animal enthusiast, a healer, a coach, a guide, an intuitive, an empath, a highly sensitive person, a country girl, and loving life and helping people heal and grow. I've been in the helping field with over 25 years experience, and I'm bringing this space to you to share, different tips and tidbits and conversations that are completely authentic and fun and real. And now I'm starting to introduce some beautiful, amazing, very special people to me on my podcast, some gorgeous guests. And this week, April 1st of 2022, which, yes, it's April Fool's, I am bringing you Naomi with Little Lamb Lavender in Smithers, British Columbia. She is a beautiful, amazing soul. She comes to us from Toronto and moved up north here to our neck of the woods in the early 2000s, and she has taken such a love for the backcountry, for horses and lambs and lavender, of course. And she's worked in many different facets and seasonal jobs and things like that. And she has now come to this beautiful little acreage outside of Smithers and a ranch, and as just living out her lifelong dream. And it's being an entrepreneur, not easy, but it's something that, she was willing to take that risk. She wanted to step out and take a chance on herself and go all in on her dreams. And she has the support of her loving partner and all of those beautiful souls in her life who have helped her to, step into that place where she can share with us, from these beautiful pure products, from nature, from love, from joy, from all of these things. So anyways, welcome, and I hope you enjoy our candid conversation as we sat amongst the beautiful nature and trees, the mountains behind us, fresh baby lambs, and I even got to snuggle one. And we just had this real unscripted, raw, fun conversation. And you'll get to know a little bit about both of us. So enjoy, and please let us know. Rate me on all the platforms I'm on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and share it around for anyone that you might think will enjoy our conversation, and maybe it will inspire them to step into their own power and their own authenticity and go forward with their dreams. Love you guys all for such amazing, beautiful support, and here we go. All right, we are April Fools, believe it or not, and I'm sitting with Naomi here in Smithers amongst a bunch of baby lambs and nature and dogs and noise and chaos and fun. And we're just gonna
peace as well.
Yes. And we're just gonna do impromptu because that's what we do.
That's how we like to roll. That's for sure.
Exactly, right?
I've spent too much time in my life planning, and now this whole phase is about unplanning and undoing.
Mm-hmm. Unlearning things we used to do all the time.
Yeah.
So what I'd love to do is just share with people. We kind of have met a few years ago. You did a yoga cowgirl retreat, and I was a horse girl, and decided that I thought that would be really fun to combine the two. And so that's kind of where we met, and we've kind of developed this, friendship and just really cool connection along the way with, things that we've learned that we have in common, and just all these adventures. And we're two adventurous spirits in different ways, but yet similar. And so, share a little bit about what you do.
Well,
we're amongst the lambs.
It was so cool because for that retreat, you brought your posse of women.
I did.
And for me, that was really neat.
Mm-hmm.
And what we discovered about one another is exactly that. Like that you are enjoying doing the retreats and organizing, and I am too.
Yeah.
Although the wind was taken out of my sails there for a couple of years. But we're back, baby.
We are. And differently, but yet with some of the same stuff.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
The world brought us into pivoting and going within and having the flexibility to, I don't know, look through a different lens and go with the flow.
We had to.
Yeah.
We had to. I mean, at that point, I had been kind of let go from my job. Who is that one?
He's checking out, wants to be a movie star.
Yeah. And so I was going through a real grieving process in a way. I was involved with emergency management for regional government for almost 7 years. And things changed in their administration. And anyway, it was time for Naomi to move on. And so at that point, I really was struggling with what to do.
Yeah.
What is it that I want to do? Because for a lot of years, I've just been really focused on, like I said, doing. So it took me a couple of years, and you know, going into this COVID time too, to figure out what my next steps were. And the retreats were a part of that.
Yeah.
And not only...
Because that was right at the beginning of everything, really, when you put that together, too, right?
Yeah, remember we had separate tables for everybody
Yeah.
and their bubbles, and none of us really knew...
It was unknown more unknown and kind of uncertain.
Exactly.
At that time, yeah.
Exactly, and it was challenging. It was like, well, do we do this? Do we bring groups together? Do we not? But we did it. But then the last year I had to cancel a few, and it was just like, this is more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah. But the energy of that one that I came to was so phenomenal. You know, like if you think back of all of us that were there, you know, there was another lady who also brought her daughter with her. And I mean, there was such a unique, fun group of people together,
and that's
doing endless hours of yoga, nurturing our
Yes.
souls with such amazing food, hanging out, camping there, which was super fun.
Yes.
And, you know, horseback riding, which, you know, I mean, that's how I was born and raised on a horse farm. And so that was kind of fun for me to be able to, you know, connect with my friends, with new friends and new people that way. And, you know, we were riding through the hills in the trees. I mean, it was beautiful. The flowers, like everything was just so, remember the horse that laid down on me?
Yeah. There's always an adventure.
There's always an adventure.
Something that's going to happen.
Oh,
and
little-
this is what it's all about, is just sharing and discovering the beauty of driftwood in this area. And that's what I really wanted to do. So beyond the retreats, once I kind of got myself back together and started healing, it just kind of came organically that I was going to do something with lavender.
Which is amazing.
That's when, you know, I had this little patch of lavender, and I thought, okay, well, I'll make some lavender eye pillows.
Which I have a beautiful one and I love it.
And it turned out that the eye pillows were a great hit. Everybody wanted one of these damn eye pillows, and I couldn't believe it. So there I was, okay, going from this high-stress job where we're dealing with evacuations and people and communities evacuating from wildfire, to Naomi sitting there sewing eye pillows for a living.
That's quite a pivot.
That was quite a pivot.
Right?
And then it just evolved from there. It was very natural. It was very organic. And I think when you are not forcing something, that's when the doors start to open.
Trust and allow. Right?
Trust and allow. It's
it's
so
huge.
hard. Like,
It is.
just to go, okay, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
It's a mystery what's happening right now. You don't know what's behind that door. But you're right. Trust and allow.
And the doors that open and close for you, these little guys are so cute. The doors that open and close, you know when it's the right one when you walk through and it feels right. It might be uncertain, but you're like, oh my God, you're like a little kid that's going
in and you're like, ooh, I'm going to explore this new space, this new whatever. And the one that doesn't work, that doesn't open, you don't go that way. Right. And I think, and the ones that close, I think we're grateful for them. They've taught us so many great things, and maybe we've met people along the way, and it's a side of our personality that's brought apart other strengths. It's also maybe made us realize that, you know, where we want to head, what we want to do, instead of being in a high stress chaos environment.
Totally.
You surrounded yourself on a little hobby farm with the lambs and the lavender, and you're really, like I'm doing, I mean, you're going back to your rooted ways and back to nature, back to animals, back to being more grounded, more centered, more of an ease away. Is this easy? No, it's not, but it is an ease in a different sense.
Totally.
You know, and,
I love how you encapsulate that. I mean, having a small farm with my husband has been a dream for a long time. I always knew that I wanted to somehow have a little bit of a ranch going, but I didn't know. But
how did it look, right?
Yeah,
no,
like
you don't know.
when we bought this land, there was nothing here. Yeah. Like there was no hydro, there was no water, there was nothing. So
just
everything
land
that you see, Carmen has basically built.
Yeah.
And as you can see, there's a lot of repairs that need to happen. I mean, the sheep they are rough on things, and then there's trees coming down all the time. And anyway, it's just endless, the to-do list. Yeah. But it is a labor of love. And I look out that window every day after 6 years of living here now, and I just feel so blessed. Yeah. And so grateful, because I was telling you before, I lived in the city. Yeah. And I just cannot imagine living there again. No.
Because, like, you know, you come from that, like you were saying, everybody's just kind of existing and doing and doing and doing, and they're going about these things, which is, there's not right or wrong, it's just what they're used to. Yes. And then you got a taste of this very different lifestyle, and first you were, you know, outfitting and you were out in the country and you know, all those kinds of things, and then you dove into the yoga and you have meditation, and now all of it's kind of come together in this unique like way. Like you've got this package that you can, you know, you're not doing yoga with the goats, but you got the lambs. So maybe you're going to be, we could right?
do lamb yoga, but I feel like, you know, before I moved to the Northwest, I was very disconnected from nature. Sure, we'd go on canoe trips or whatever, but you're existing in a cityscape, or, you know, I grew up in a small town, so we'd hang out in the gorge. But living here is a very different thing, and especially after meeting Carmen and going into a territory that is one of the most remote places in British Columbia with 30 horses and no technology, and just letting go of that technology and just like finally, was it easy? No.
Oh, heck no.
There are days where I'm just going, oh my God, what am I doing? Like here I'm going out in the morning looking for horses with my little gun in case the grizzly bear, but I don't even really know how to shoot, but it was so satisfying, you know, that.
But you were present and there, right?
Yes.
Like, and I don't know if you've noticed this about nature, but it really allows you, and same with animals, it brings you out of that disconnect and very present.
Absolutely.
Like right now, you think about it. I mean, these guys are super curious, and they're doing their thing. They're existing.
They're in the moment, you know, completely.
And, you know, the sun is shining. We had a snowstorm this morning. The sun is shining. Everything here, even the trees, nature, you know, everything's here in this time.
Yes.
Right.
And I think that's what I love about animal husbandry is, you know, as much as they depend on us, we depend on them in a certain way, and for me it's a very healing thing.
It's well, and you're seeing the you know, miraculous birth, you know, all these little guys running around. I mean, you know,
you're on the edge of your seat.
And they're curious and they're fun, and they come out and they're here like, hello world, I want to be a part of this world, and you seem really nice, and you know, like, so it's neat, you get to witness that miraculous birth of these little souls, these little guys that are coming alive.
They are really amazing little creatures. As much as Carmen would say, you know, they just want to die, like they're this is a fragile time of year.
Yeah.
But it's also such a fun and exciting time of year with the miracles of
Yeah.
the birth. Like,
Yeah.
for the first time, we have had 100% success rate. Usually, like since we started this, and we knew nothing about raising sheep, nothing.
Yeah.
So the first few years were just heart-wrenching. Like, we had deaths and, all of these strange things that would happen that you're learning as you go. But this year, everybody has survived. Yeah. Carmen had to do a couple of deliveries. We had a breech lamb that had to be pulled out. Yes, we know. And then we had a ewe that had triplets. And she didn't want her first baby. So, when that is happening, nature can be so cruel, right?
Can.
But for some reason, the mother knows that I can't have this baby. Carmen took it after trying to get the mother to bond with this little thing and gave it to another ewe that had her baby, and she accepted it. Now, is that a miracle or what?
But she, like you said, she knew she couldn't possibly do that. And, luckily there was another one that was willing to do that. And
but
nature's cruel, can be cruel, but it can also be so accepting and non-judgmental and, open and curious and all of these things, right? And if it wasn't, the little guy wouldn't have survived.
Yes. So
And
it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. I mean, had you guys not been there, who knows, right? But you don't know that because you were there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I mean, Carmen was just like, it nearly made Carmy cry, but I didn't.
yeah,
That cowboy in him, you
Yeah.
know, like it's a beautiful thing to witness, especially when it goes well.
yeah. Well, and that I think you can carry through into every day life, every part of your life. You're in that moment there, but when you take it and you take it into all your other experiences around you, and you realize the magic and the courage and the joy and all those things that those moments bring you, you get to gather that up and carry that along and kind of spread it where you need it to go in other parts of your life,
that's
right?
nice. Yeah, I mean, nothing is easy,
No.
right? And we don't really see what goes on behind the scenes in anybody's world
No.
and what people struggle with,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But doing this allows you a different lens. Maybe that allows you more patience and awareness.
It has been
right?
teaching me patience.
Yeah, right? Because I think you have no choice but to have that.
Yeah.
And,
Like just
Yeah.
kind of going, okay, I can choose to stress out,
Yeah.
or I can choose not to stress out. And so now that I'm approaching 50, my midlife, I turn 49 next month. Whoa. I'm finally realizing that,
Not far behind you.
it's,
Yeah.
what's the sense in worrying? Like, I'm finally kind of coming into a bit more of my own self-confidence.
Yeah. But had you not had those other chapters, you couldn't experience this one.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I see that as, the 40s for me has been really amazing because in May as well, I turned 47. And so, it's so interesting to me that, I look at all the different chapters and I look at this one. There's been some intensity, some really hard things that we've all gone through on different levels in the world and individually. But then I also look and I think it's actually been the most fulfilling, like full tilt, full healing, learning, growing, all those things in like this little time period. And I only feel it. I feel it like evolving and growing at a faster pace. But now that I'm open to it, I feel like more and more things come in naturally and flow in, and it's like the vinyasa flow, right? It's just
opening the heart.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot experience the fullness without the emptiness.
No.
The joy without the grief.
No.
So,
But learning how to
come into that balance.
Yeah, find that balance, find that equilibrium where you can, it's not always going to be perfect and it's not always going to be easy, but there always is a balance. Inside chaos, there's always calm.
Yes.
Right?
It's, the eye of the storm.
Yeah. So, and I mean, you've experienced that in this last year too, and you had some grief that you were going through with your cat, which was really, you had that piece, and I've also had some of that grief too with losing my father, and some different,
two totally different things.
Yeah, but there's, and we've had grief and in a world view too of how the world, how we knew it, that everything is now different. It has changed. It has, gone into a completely different direction, and you can see that all around. So grief isn't just that physical loss of a person or an animal or a thing, but it's also of things how we knew it, or a job, or and you were grieving that at that time too, but now look where it's brought you. So through grief and through sadness and through loss and pain and all of those things that are the hardest, but we're supposed to experience them, we come out on the other side of those things, being able to share those experiences and the emotions and the insights and the aha moments, all those things. We get to share that with people who come our way.
Yes.
We don't know how we're going to share that, but we're open to it.
We are open to it, and I think that is one of the greatest gifts, isn't it? Like, to be able to share and connect with people on a deeper level, to truly be present so that you can really hear someone and maybe offer a little tidbit.
Yeah. And, I was speaking with somebody yesterday, and, she said, hey, I have this person that's reached out to me with this huge trauma. And she said, well, she doesn't talk about things. And I said, oh, well, maybe she just needs someone to listen.
Yeah.
And I think, these guys are jumping around. Oh, they're so cute. We're watching lambs, if you're wondering what's going on in the background. There's all these little lambs. Mums are eating, as you can hear, and they're very chatty. And the lambs are playful and jumping and making us laugh, too, in the middle of distracting us, which is fun.
And they know which one is their mom's.
Oh,
and
yes.
And they will just go and pound on their teats with their little heads.
Hi, guys.
To get their milk. But they are just they're curious.
Hi, guys.
They're curious little guys. This is one of the smallest ones right here, but he's got such cool markings on the other leg.
I know, it was really neat.
You can see it.
Yeah.
They all have their own unique little personalities.
And coloring and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you better go quick, bud.
There is something like just kind of circling back to the whole idea of grieving. Animal therapy has been my thing.
Yeah.
Just getting out on those horses, feeling the rhythm of the horses, listening to them chew, coming down here.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought it'd be
hanging out
fun.
on the shit pile.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Well, I mean, why not? Because this is where, you have connected. I mean, we've got nature. We've got everything we need. Don't fall into the manure. Let's not do that.
Oh, I've done that a million times before.
But it's so neat because, this is where both of us, for different reasons, are connected.
Yes.
Right? In different background, different paths. But at the same time, we know that grounding connectedness and that healing power of all of that.
I loved what you posted the other day about the wisdom of the trees and how they can help absorb that negative energy if you are carrying something like that. Yeah. And I believe that. I do. And there's just being with these guys. I love it.
It is amazing. I was just looking around too. A lot of these big trees have the green lichen on it.
Yes.
Which is a really beautiful thing. I love that about exploring this valley, this area where you live. And it's the first time I was really introduced to it. And it's amazing
different landscape, eh?
Well, it is different landscape, but that is also a sign of beautiful air.
Oh.
And so when you have that you have a lot really clean, pure air. And as we were up the Driftwood Valley by the river in the mountains up there, and I was doing a session with a group of ladies, we were reading all about it because there's information up there. And it was amazing when you just were present by this beautiful creek and you read that and you looked around and it was everywhere. And you started to go deep within and you started that nice deep belly breath and started to be really present. the quality of the air that you were breathing in was amazing.
Oh,
And
the
it just,
freshest
you can feel
air
it
ever,
is,
huh?
and you can feel it. It fills your lungs, it fills your soul, it fills everything.
Yes.
You walk out of there, like you could walk in there not feeling well and turn around an hour later and walk back out feeling well.
Yeah, medicine.
Yeah. And I think that is what I love about, what we do. It's different, but it's yet very much the same, is we're connecting with that natural medicine, that natural energy that, and yoga and meditation teaches that as well.
Yeah.
Connecting with your chakras, connecting with your soul and your heart and your purpose and all of those things, and
Yes.
grounding that energy. And then
Yes.
you incorporate the animals, the horses, the nature, the water, all elements,
Yeah.
and all beings to really help heal. And I think what I love about it, is you can have someone from the most traumatic experience in life, and that can be it's like this most beautiful healing space for them, and we get to hold this space for people. Like what a gift!
It is a
right?
gift. It's an honor to be able to do that. So when I was deciding whether or not to do it this year, I mean, we're all busy, right? Like everyone's
Well, it's
lives are busy, and there was, a number of months where I was just going, I'm not going to do this again. It's too much work. It's because, all of the things behind the scenes.
Yep.
COVID.
Yep.
All of that. But then I was just like, you know what? This is a part of me, and I really want to share and do it. So
Yep.
I'm going to offer a retreat.
Yep.
3rd week of May, and it's on my birthday.
I noticed that.
And I thought,
why not?
what a great gift to give to myself as well.
Yeah.
Because we all have been kind of holed up, and things are shifting now.
Yeah.
I feel
Yep.
like, wow, events are back on again,
Yep.
and we're around people, we're hugging,
Yep.
and
Which everybody needs so much of.
Yeah.
You think of what you get out of a 20-second hug with somebody. You can change somebody's entire trajectory, entire day, month, year by, just that hug, that energy exchange that you have.
God, I have missed
know?
giving hands-on assists in
Yeah.
yoga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just,
No.
buddy.
It's like, I'm coming close. But that's the huge thing is that as human beings, we crave that. We need
We
that
do.
that hug, that touch,
Yes.
even, or all of those. It doesn't have to be a lot, and but it has to be something. And I think we've all felt so alone and disconnected, and all in
Yes.
our own way. And I look at the youth, which really worries me a lot, because I look at the youth and the mental health and the breakdowns that it's had in that system. And I think,
And
that's
just what
was
technology, that
Yeah.
whole role in
Yeah.
things.
Well, and everybody's relied on it because it's what's available, it's what's there. And, so bringing our retreats and our work back
as
is,
much as it connects us, it also
It
disconnects.
does.
Disconnects
Yeah,
us
it
though,
does.
too.
It does. But I think the awareness of that, and, I'm excited, in the coming months too, to be able to do some things like this for youth, because I want to reconnect them to themselves, to nature, to animals as well, because, you think of that, especially that 13 to 18 gap, that's a really pivotal, hard changing, turbulent, chaos
Sure.
time, right? You're
And
learning, like, okay, I'm a teenager, I'm
firsthand,
this,
right?
I'm that,
You've got two
yeah,
girls in
yeah.
that age group.
I do. I've got one that's going to be 13, one that's going to be 17.
Yeah.
And I've watched, the anxiety, the depression, the darkness, the sadness. I've also watched other things too that have come, with different experiences that they've been able to enjoy. So I've seen both sides, but it breaks my heart that there are so many kids and youth who are not talking about it. They don't know how to share. They maybe don't have someone they can trust. They don't have maybe a safe environment or whatever it may be. And so I want to continue to create that safe space
And this is
for
part
them.
of your new business.
Yeah, my private practice. So
That's
I love
great, Raya.
I
It's
love
so
it.
needed.
Yeah. And youth, everybody's always so scared. Oh, you're going to work with teenagers. I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you scared of them? They need us the most.
Yeah.
They fight us the most. They push us away the most, but they
Yeah.
need us the most.
Oh,
right? And
Well,
and
that'll be great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to come to one of your retreats
I'm
this
excited.
summer.
I'm in the planning stages.
You're in the
so
planning
I'm in the planning
stages.
stages. Yeah, I've got some really fun stuff coming up, and
I can't wait to
yeah,
hear.
I know.
And also to
Yeah.
dig into your book.
Yeah.
Too.
That's
And
right,
like
too,
huge
yeah.
congratulations on that, because I think that is such a, to wear your heart on your sleeve in that way,
And
and
such
just
divine
to be
timing with it.
vulnerable. Exactly. Yes.
Quite a
and to
process.
share in order to help other people. Like, yeah.
Well, and like I said, grief is something that has over time been very, it can be very lonely. It can be very isolating. It can be not a lot of people know how to approach anyone or talk to people or some of those kinds of things. But I think the neat thing is I also want to do a lot of work around that. Whether it's the grief of our world upside down and not getting a graduation, or it's the grief of loss of a parent, a sibling, an animal, or whatever. I want to bring people together in grief.
Yes.
And create groups and safe places where I can help people. And literally it's about holding that beautiful space that is nurturing and safe and non-judgmental and open, so that we can all together, just figure out our way. We're all not going to have the same path, but
together we're stronger,
we are.
Right?
Divided we are broken, and together we're really strong. And we are all very different because we're meant to be very different.
Yes.
Which is great, because that's when you look around at all the people that come into your life and the experiences, with all of those differences, there's commonality.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, look at us.
I'm so glad that
Yeah.
we met.
Yeah,
And that we've managed to,
Yep.
keep
Yeah.
our connection going. Like, I love coming to visit you in Burns Lake. It's just down the highway.
Yeah, I know.
You love driving to
I
Smithers.
love Smithers, so why not, right?
Exactly. It's nice that you're here
Yeah.
with your mom. I've heard
Yeah.
so much about your mom.
Yeah.
And you girls are women after my own heart. Like, just the nature lovers, the animal lovers, and that's what I'm into these days.
Well, it's so, like I said, it's just so wonderful to see life as it unfolds. Every moment, every day. And I mean, we don't have control over the bigger picture, but we have control over here, now, in this time and space,
Well,
right?
and that's why I said to myself, like, this is your time. We only get one kick at the can that we know of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we could talk about reincarnation
we could go
and all
all
of that
over. Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
business.
yeah.
But as we know it, this is our chance. So, I said to myself, believe in yourself,
Yeah.
Naomi. Do what is in your heart of hearts. What do you really want to do?
Yep.
And so this whole idea with the lavender, and okay, let's try to make some natural skincare products.
Well, and it's blowing up.
The
Like,
wellness
your ideas are-
tools,
oh.
and
Yeah.
that has not been an easy
No.
road. There's been a lot of mistakes and a lot of learning, but
Yep.
I am just so grateful for the opportunity.
Well, and think of, I'm watching you do that kind of from the outside, right? And I'm seeing all of these creations come out and all of these, new candles and creams, and,
Yes.
you're traveling to Mexico and you're sharing this with the world, and you're showing people, and you're, kind of regenerating yourself after, some crazy time. But these ideas, and because you did give yourself that little kick, and you said, now's your time.
Yes.
It's like you allowed your creativity and your inspiration and all of these things to literally
To flow.
Like it's flooding, it's flowing, and it's hard to keep up with sometimes. Like, I can see you're going quite quickly, and there's all these
this
things
has
coming at
always
you.
been Naomi's problem, is that I have a hard time focusing.
Oh, I have the same
I
exact
just
thing.
get going
Must be
in
us
a
Geminis.
million.
Yes, right?
I get going in a million directions,
yep.
so I know that I need to
Yep.
kind of rein things in.
Yep.
But I'm just experimenting
Yeah.
with different things right now, and that feels really good.
Yeah.
And my mom is like, as long as you're having fun.
Well, yeah.
And in my other jobs, yes, you're right. I've learned. I met some amazing people. There
Yeah.
was a purpose to all of that, but I wasn't happy.
Well, me too. 25 years I've been going from, different, it was within the helping field and the counseling field, but going from different places and different jobs and different things, and they all served me well, and I met lots of amazing clients, and we owned a business in there for 12 and a half years. I mean, a pub and grill, that's so not me, but it was my husband's dream. So all of these things that were just circling, for 25 years, and here I am, a couple years ago at Christmas, at the Christmas dinner table, births Roots to Wellness.
Yes.
And I remember that conversation. We're just all served up Christmas dinner and we're thinking about a name, all of us, for my new practice. And I'm like, well, sitting there, I had just a mouthful of mashed potatoes and I'm like, it's Roots to Wellness. And they're like, what? What's Roots? The name is Roots to Wellness. And I said, and they're like, it's perfect. And that, but what that, and
it
so
just kind of comes.
It does.
Like,
it kind of gives me
like,
goosebumps,
oh,
right?
Yeah,
like,
I know. Because I was like, Little Lamb Lavender.
Right? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And it's perfect because it suits you. It's where you're at right now. It's what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's, for me, it brought me back to my roots and my childhood and nature and animals. And we had goats. We didn't have sheep, but I had my little goats and I used to feed them with a bottle all the time. And I mean, it was so amazing.
The whole concept of Roots to Wellness, because there's an expression that we use as yoga teachers to remind students to root before you rise.
Yeah.
We say that a lot.
Yeah.
Root to rise.
Yeah.
And that's your wellness, right?
Yeah. Because that's the
But you
idea of
need
being
those
really strong and grounded and, in order to be able to do those next things, whether you're doing,
and when I think about that, it's like my husband gave me those roots.
Yeah.
He allowed me to feel safe, to feel secure, so that I could start to kind of, become myself.
Yeah.
Get back to my true nature.
Well, and it's like the lotus flower. You think of the lotus flower, how long it actually takes to bloom. It's under the muck and the yuck and underneath for quite a long time as it's slowly gaining its
The
nutrients.
journey of the lotus.
Right? And then
Yes.
when it comes up, it's this most incredible, strong, beautiful presence. And
Yes.
I think of that, whether it's yourself or myself or anyone, as you're watching them blossom, whether you have a student or I have a client or whatever, and you just see everything just start to blossom and grow, and they got to get through the muck first. They got to go through that ugly and the hard stuff.
You do. You
but
got to
when
go through the
when they
muck.
come up here, it's like so beautiful.
Aw.
And I love that, and I think that's why I love the lotus flower, because it has a great
that's
story,
the
right?
symbol of your crown chakra.
Yeah, yeah.
Connecting to the
Source,
universe.
divine, universe, whatever you wanna call it.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
See, we finish each other's sentences.
know.
We just can't help it.
Like I said, it's funny. We find out our birthdays are really close. We're Geminis.
Yeah.
We're, nature, horsey, animal
Are you,
people.
do you find yourself easily annoyed? Are you kind of a hot-tempered person?
I can be. I have a very dual personality.
That's me too.
My feisty side
I know.
takes a lot for her to come out, though.
Does it? You got to
Yeah.
be pushed and pushed and
I do.
pushed and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I stand my ground. Then I'm rooted and tough.
right.
Yeah. I know. But the other side is just kind of, like that, like you said, that you're kind of all over the place. You have all these ideas, you have the energy, and you're like going from this to this to this to this, and you're like, you can just see it. It's like, I find that's what was neat with writing, is I find that my brain is going so fast I can't even keep up. Right? And I'm like, you light bulb
gotta
here,
have
light bulb
little
there, here,
fast
there. Oh my,
fingers
I
to
can't.
keep
I
it
record
going,
it.
right? Do you?
That's why I love podcasting. Because can you imagine us trying to record this conversation in writing? It would,
Yeah, no.
we have to record it and transcribe it.
Right.
And in today's world, that's the greatest thing, is anyone can write.
Well,
Because
I guess you
some
found
people,
the method that works for you, right?
And being dyslexic and having ADD, for me, it's very hard to focus. Plus, I've got the other things. They don't define me anymore of who I am. But I've now found ways that, God, I wish I would have had 40 years ago.
Right.
Right?
They didn't teach
No,
that.
they didn't teach that. So there's like,
It's like you have to conform to this way.
This is the only way.
Exactly.
And now we have all of these things. That is one thing where you look at, technology and all those things. I'm so grateful for being able to record, whether we do video, we do voice recording, we write, we do whatever. Maybe I write poems instead of this, or I write short stories, or, like this book that I was a part of, She Grieves, we all each got a chapter.
Yeah.
And, that was, and I wrote, we were allowed to have 3,000 words. Of course, I'm at the 7,000 mark, and luckily my mom, who's a writer, was able to help me hone it down and get rid of all the extra fluff I had in there, lots of extra fluff, and bring it down to where I needed it. But that was the fun part is I learned how to really brain dump and get all of this stuff that a lot of it I'd kept in for almost 25 years, and things that people didn't know, things that I had forgotten. Like, it all just started to come out, and I went into nature. I went to lakes and rivers and amongst the woods, wherever I was feeling called to, and I would just write. whether I was writing by hand or I was recording.
So
And
that's so nice.
Yeah.
Like just to let go of all of the distractions
Yeah.
of like, I need to write a certain way, because this is what happened in business.
Yeah.
I lost my creativity because you had to write a very specific way when you're
Yep.
doing proposals and use specific language.
Yep.
And my creativity was just tapped
Yeah.
from that.
because we don't function that way.
No,
We like to have
We
the
were put
parameters
in a
wide open.
box.
Yeah, yeah. We don't like boxes.
I don't like boxes.
No, we like the wide open, and I think that's the neat part, right?
Yeah, and so that was going to the territory and
Yeah.
being in those wide open spaces was what kind
Yeah.
of allowed me to just come back to myself again. Like,
What an
okay.
amazing experience.
Oh, it really was.
On all levels.
I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
learned so much and again, like, gained confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Self-awareness.
yes, like
Courage,
courage.
like lots of courage.
It's
I mean,
like,
you think,
wow, I can do this.
and I think that's, you know, that's something we get to share with others now that we've gone through some big spots of courage.
Well, and people are very quick. They
Yeah.
can be quick. Like, you've got your greatest supporters, but then you've got the crowd that's like, why would you ever do that? You know,
Yeah.
or that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think the bottom line is like, okay, let go of all of these voices
Yep.
and
The chatter and the yeah.
chatter and just go inside, because
Mm-hmm.
you've got all the answers inside. But we forget that we have that.
We also grow. Like when we're little, and I'm looking at these little lambs thinking that when we're born, when we're little itty bitties, you know, we have the intuition, we have that knowing, we have that.
It's like a
It,
seed.
We have it.
It's all the magic
But
is
but
within
through
the
life,
seed.
it is. But through life and through hardships and experience,
Yes.
and we lose that. And
It's the onion layers.
yeah, that damn onion.
Yeah.
Jeez, makes you
Makes
cry.
you cry. Yeah, for sure. No,
But-
and
but
we
it-
put up our walls and
We
our
do,
barriers
yep.
and
And
for
sometimes, you know, and all of those we can break them all down. It's all possible. Nothing's impossible. But I think through experiences, you find your way of what works the best.
sure. Yes.
And the interesting part too is that's what I found about the 40s. Is the time when I feel the walls start to come down.
We're cracking the shells.
We are. And I think that's, it's so inspiring for me in that way, because as people, you know, we're all energy. So as we're going through this and we're feeling inspired and empowered and we're excited and we're like all these things, people are watching us and feeling the same.
Yeah.
So we're gifting as we're going through our transformation and our growth and change.
Yeah.
We're sharing that with everyone else without even really realizing that's what we're doing. You get a phone call, oh my God, I'm going to start this, and this is so, how would you do it? And I'm so excited, and you inspired me to do this, or whatever it is, right? You don't even realize those
I could
people
teach
that...
a whole course on entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll have to. The non-traditional way, whatever way you want to do it. Maybe
I
we'll sit
like-
amongst the lambs and we'll
Okay,
be teaching a
Let's
course.
do that. Let
Yeah.
me get you a lamb. Hold
Okay.
on.
Okay, you can
One
do that.
sec.
Uh-oh.
So you can hold the lambie.
Yeah, now they're all going to run away.
Well, I've got one in here.
Oh, there's one hiding. All the rest are going to have a conversation out here. Hey, guys? What? I know. Oh, yeah. Yes. We have new guests on the podcast today. Oh, they're having quite the conversation. Oh, my goodness. Hi, little one. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay.
Just don't let him go or I'll never catch him.
Oh, my goodness. You're
So how does it feel holding a baby lamb?
Oh, is he so cute? Hi, Bob. Hey, hi. I know you want to run away because I'm here. Hey, hi. You feel so cool.
So this is like the second time this little guy has seen the world. He's been living in the barn. He's going to go out tomorrow and discover the world. But look at him looking. Oh, he's
What
just a
is out
sweetheart.
Hey, your little hearts are racing. Hi. Hi. You're so sweet. Hey?
Yeah, there's just something about babies, huh?
Hi. How you doing? Hey. So sweet.
Yeah, he's a good-looking little fella, and they're healthy, and yeah,
Okay.
I just thought maybe you'd like to hold
It's a
one.
great way to wrap up an amazing conversation is snuggle with a lammy.
Oh, there's nothing better than a little lammy.
Hey? Well, what an amazing journey. Like, look at us finishing sentences and having amazing inspiration and ideas and snuggling lammies and just being in the moment.
Well, I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad that you came out and that we could spend a little time in person finally. I'm happy that spring's around the corner, even though it doesn't feel like it right now.
It's fair.
But yes, behind the clouds there is the sun.
It is. It shines bright.
And that's what my yoga teacher, she always says too. And I just love her to bits. And yeah, I'm so grateful to the people in my life that that I have.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
What a journey. Love it.
It is.
I love it. Oh, we're going to have many conversations. I know it.
Oh, goody.
We have so many things we could talk about.
Oh, absolutely.
We've just dipped our toe just a little bit into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What an amazing experience, hey?
See, you're good at holding little baby animals with all those puppies you had and everything.
Oh my
But
God,
look
that
at
was
him. He's
amazing.
like, you're going to come out in here and play with everybody. So you got to wait till tomorrow, but I wanted you to meet Raya.
Hey? Hey, little Bubba. You're doing good. You're so chill. All right. Well,
I'll put him away.
we will make sure I don't drop him. There we go.
Oh, that was such a fun, amazing conversation with Naomi and the lambs and getting to snuggle a little dude at the end. Thank you for hanging in there with us in this amazing day. And I would love it if you guys hop on over to littlelamb.lavender.ca and visit Naomi and her gorgeous farm. And if you want to visit my endeavors and my private practice, it's at Raya's Wellness, all one word.com, and get to know a little bit more about us. And I've got my podcast going, and Naomi's always adding new great collections. She's on Instagram and Facebook, as am I as well, and I will pop all that information down below in the notes so you guys can reach out to us and you can find us, and let's connect with more amazing, beautiful souls out there. Have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you for sharing space with us and tuning in, and we'll chat again soon.